In Lesson 2, you are going to learn about other energy sources besides the non-renewable energy sources we learned about in the last lesson. Wind, water, and the sun are renewable energy resources. They can heat homes and make electricity. Here is the notes page you will fill out for your notebook. You will list all the types of energy all the way to the left, describe them, list their advantages and disadvantages. You have seen that there are disadvantages to using fossil fuels. Therefore, it is important to develop non-polluting, renewable energy resources. Some of these resources have been used for thousands of years, but they need to be improved to be more useful to today's society. Solar energy, or energy from sunlight, is a renewable resource. Solar cells use sunlight to make electricity. The International Space Station gets electricity from sunlight captured by solar cells. Often, sunlight is used to heat things. Sunlight is used to heat water for homes and swimming pools. It can also heat the air in buildings, such as greenhouses. Solar energy has some advantages when it's compared to fossil fuels. Sunlight will not run out for billions of years. Solar energy does not cause any pollution. Unfortunately, solar energy has some disadvantages too. It is not available at night or on cloudy days. Also, systems to make electricity from solar energy are expensive to make and maintain. Factories that make solar cells also produce very dangerous wastes. Here is a picture of a home that has solar cells on its roof to capture the solar energy to heat the home and to heat the water used in the home. Wind energy. People have been using the renewable energy of the wind for hundreds of years. For example, Holland is famous for its old windmills. The turning blades were connected to machines for many purposes. These windmills were used to grind grain and to pump water away from the land. Starting in the 1800s, smaller systems were used on farms throughout the U.S. Here, in this picture, windmills are used to capture energy to use as electricity. Today's technology has been used to improve the way that wind machines use the energy in the wind. Wind turbines use the energy of the wind to spin a generator to make electricity. These wind turbines can spin faster in light winds than old windmills did. The electric energy they produce can be used in many ways, not just for pumping water or grinding grain. Wind energy has advantages and disadvantages over other energy sources. An advantage that windmills have over fossil fuels is that windmills do not cause air pollution. As expected, a disadvantage of wind energy is that the wind does not blow all the time. And an unexpected disadvantage is that birds sometimes are killed by flying into the towers or blades. Also, some people think that windmills are noisy and ugly. A disadvantage, again, is that wind turbines might kill the birds. Moving water is another form of energy, and one of the oldest energy resources. For centuries, people have built factories along rivers in order to use the energy of flowing water. The rivers turned huge paddle wheels. Other kinds of water wheels then powered saws to cut wood, looms to make cloth, mills to grind flour, or other machines. Moving water is a renewable resource that is still used today. Instead of turning paddle wheels, water is used to make electricity. Power plants that make electricity with the energy of flowing water are called hydroelectric power plants. Hydroelectric power plants are usually built in dams. As water flows through a dam, it spins parts of generators. These parts look something like a fan. As they spin, the generator makes electricity. Just like wind generators, hydroelectric power plants do not need fuel to make electricity. There is no pollution. No waste is left behind. Hydroelectric power plants have some disadvantages. They can only be built where there is moving water. The area also must have a place where a lake can form behind the dam. These lakes flood habitats of plants and animals. Dams can also stop fish from swimming up and down the river. Can you think of a place near where we live, where there might be a hydroelectric power plant. Here's an example of a hydroelectric power plant. Another form of energy is nuclear energy. Uranium is a rare metal. Under certain conditions, uranium will get very hot. Nuclear power plants use hot uranium instead of fossil fuels to make steam in order to produce electricity. A nuclear power plant needs much less fuel than a power plant that uses coal or oil. Also, nuclear power plants do not give off smoke. On the other hand, the cost of building a nuclear power plant is more than that of other power plants. Dangerous wastes present another problem. Since there is only so much uranium on Earth, nuclear energy is a non-renewable energy resource. An example of a nuclear power plant. Another form of energy is geothermal energy. Energy from high temperatures inside the Earth is called geothermal energy. Geothermal energy can be used in several ways. In one way, water is pumped down deep holes into hot rock. As the water flows through cracks in hot rocks, the water gets hot and may turn into steam. The hot water or steam rushes back to the surface and is used to make electricity. Geothermal energy has many advantages. Unlike solar or wind energy, geothermal energy can make electricity all day and all night, all year long. However, these power plants can be built in only a few places in the world where very hot rocks are close to the Earth's surface. And also, some pollutants may be found in the steam of the geothermal power plants. Here's how a geothermal power plant works. The last form of energy that we are going to talk about is biomass energy. Garbage is an example of biomass. Biomass is material that was recently alive. Biomass can be animal waste, wood, grasses, or food wastes. Biomass can be used in other ways besides being burned in power plants. Some biomass is turned into fuels that can run cars and trucks. Chemicals are added to biomass, and then the biomass is turned into liquid fuel. High temperatures can turn biomass into a gas similar to natural gas. This gas can be used in the same ways as natural gas.